All right, guys. So inside Blender Octane, got a little mission for myself. I just got a couple of items here. I'm gonna basically see, can I model and set up a quick thumbnail for a video, upcoming video, which is gonna be Octane versus vanilla Blender, and I'm gonna make it a little quick thumbnail here. So what I did is I downloaded this asset here from Bridge, Quickle Bridge, kind of like this medieval modular wall. Gonna convert that over to Octane, and then I've got two little logos here. I've got the Blender logo and the Octane logo, which I just cooked out a couple minutes ago, actually about an hour ago. It took longer than that. And I'm gonna go ahead and get a little scene set up here. So I've kind of already got my camera positioned. I left this empty space here because I have a template that I'm going to be using, a photo that I use for my thumbnails, and I'm kind of in this area here, so I'm leaving this kind of shifted over to that side. So next, what I'm going to need to do before I get my lighting set up here, I'm going to actually go ahead and convert these materials. So I'm going to jump into converting this materials. If you guys do not know how to convert materials, and I already see something that I want to fix really quick, is my focus point for my camera, which is way off in the distance down there. And let's just kind of bring this back here to reality, and we'll, of course, we'll get that more dialed in once we get into there. Let's click on this here. So for those of you who do not know how to convert materials in Blender Octane, it's very easy. This is a simple little shader that I've downloaded here. And one thing I've noticed here with the new update is you're gonna have to recorrect these, because this is downloaded from Bridge, like I said, from Megascans, and they're don't even know where they put them. So we've got the normal map plugged into the IOR, which is incorrect. We'll go ahead and plug that into there. And then what I'm also gonna do is click on this node. I'm gonna play backspace to reset everything, because that's going to mess up my values also once I get it to Octane. Okay, so that puts it back to there. That's cropper. And then we got the roughness, which is plugged into the weight. We're going to plug that into the roughness there. And then RGB is in the base color, so we're looking good. Another thing that I like to do is turn this here to black. Otherwise, it's going to add in an emission node into my Octane version. So I'm going to go ahead and come over here with the material selected and the object selected. Scroll down here, and then you should see this convert to Octane materials. Click on that, selected material only, and boom, there it is. Now we've converted it. Let's go ahead and quickly, I never got issues. See, these are white, these should be black. So again, the first thing I do is click on this, hit backspace, and that's, see, boom, that sets that back up properly. And then I like to go to GGX energy preserve, make sure these are in the right roughness, and then this still doesn't plug it in right. Look, coding normal. This goes into the normal, not the coding normal, right? So it doesn't know. So we got to help it out. Gamma set 1, that's 1, that's 1, 2.2 gamma there. That's all good there. All right, good. Now what I'm going to do, the moment of truth. I like to isolate this here just to help me with the rendering. And I'm going to go ahead and click on this, fire it up, and see what we're looking like. Alrighty. Boom, there it is, looking good. Roughness is looking good. I think that came out nice. Okay, now if you wanted to, you can come in here and add in a bump. Let me see, this is how I would add in a displacement, for example. First of all, go to displacement, add in a texture displacement. Bring that up here, texture displacement. Then I'll come in here, select this, shift duplicate, drop that over here, plug that into the texture, hit the little number button there to make a copy, get your own copy here. Then I'm going to jump in here and let me kill the render, and we should see a displacement version in here if you have your bridge set up properly to export out the EXR. And there it is right there, displacement. I'm going to grab that. It's an EXR displacement, holds better much data. I'm going to grab that, plug that into there. This is a 2K material, plug that into there. Then I like to go 0.01, and let's see what that did. Okay, and to see if this is working, what I'm going to do is just set this to 1, maybe 10. Okay, now we can see it's working. I know that it's working. So let's actually bring this back down to 1. Let's see if we can get away with the 1. Come on, don't lock up on me. When you have these moments, just let it do its thing. Don't add any inputs. Don't keep trying to. You'll eventually just make it crash. So I've kind of just like let it think, let it figure it out, because again, I cranked it up to 10, which was probably a little bit too much. I probably should have just went to like 5 or something. Plus my laptop is being worked right now. We've got OBS running in the background. I've got several other web pages, which I'm going to close to help that up there. Okay. And it looks like we might have a freeze. Are we gonna freeze? Let's click back on it. And no, we didn't freeze. We made it. Good. Well, actually, hang on. I take that back. We still haven't. Did I hit enter? Okay, set that back to 1. Why is that not resetting? 1, enter. Okay, good. So we might even still not even need that much. Let me jump into my camera view, and that's gonna really tell me if we need. See, that's way too much. So actually, I'm gonna go ahead and set this back down to 0.01, 0.01. Actually, my number keypad might not be working. 0.01. There we go. Okay, good. Now that we've got this here set up, I guess I want to come in here and first of all save, because Blender likes to crash. Doesn't matter if it's Octane or Cycles or whatever, right? I'm gonna go ahead and jump out. And another quick little trick that somebody in our Blender Octane community had found out was like really cool little tip here. Check this out. If I'm coming in here and I got my viewport going, and let's let it kick in for a second. And we got, you know, pretty decent on my 1050 Ti GPU. Okay, but if we go down here, we can get a little bit more improvement in our viewport. If you scroll down to the render tab, scroll all the way down to Octane server tab, scroll that open, and then you'll see right here we have enable real-time viewing, and you can click on that, and I get a little bit more performance. I've kind of tested it, and I was getting like, let's see now that we're live streaming and we're live, and because I make the point, it's probably not going to make a difference. Let's see here. Boom. Yeah, you can clearly see the difference there. Now look at it. It's really boom, 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 boom. And then matter of fact, like I was timing it, and it was like, for me, it was saving about 0.30 seconds. So for example, if I had like 1 second, it'll be like 2 seconds, 2.3 seconds, and it'll be like under that. Or if you guys are like, what the hell am I talking about? In Octane, we do have this. If I go to my text info, right here we have the time. It'll tell you the time, right? So I have 250 samples set up in my viewport, which is actually way too much for me on my little machine. I normally keep that down to 50. So let me jump back up here. Yeah, I normally have my preview set to 50 samples. Right. And right here we got our little timer here, so it's clicking in. Boom, 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 boom. There. So it's like 5.6. So normally, literally, let's try it again without that. Okay, let me turn it off, and let's turn it. It's a small, minute difference for me, but I quite imagine on a bigger, better GPU, you might get a little bit more better performance. And this first initial one I don't count because it's initializing and it's loading up in the background. Matter of fact, I'm gonna stop that because it tends to not kick in. So I'll let it do its thing for a second here. And I already forgot how long it took on the other one, right? Okay, so now what I like to do is I'll just tweak it just a little bit like that and let it calculate. So it took 5.58 seconds, okay, 5.5. Now I'm gonna do it again and I'm gonna turn it off. Oh, that's off. It was already off. 5.5 with it off. So let's turn it on. 5.5, hang on. Let's turn it back on, let it initiate. Okay, and this first one doesn't count because it was initiating. let it get all the way, and then I'll come back, tweak it again and tweak it back. Let's see what our time will be. 5.5 was the old time with it off, and 5.5, 5.10, it actually took longer. Oh, Octane, I love it. Let's see again. 5.5, 5.8. It's taking longer, so I guess it's not working this time. I guess, you know, my other scene, I had a little bit more stuff in the scene. Oh, there's a 5.1. Okay, 5.1 that time. Maybe it needs a warm up, huh? I don't know. 5.19. Okay, now we're back. Now we're consistently getting back to quicker. Let's try one more time here. 5.111. So I don't know. I don't think so. Let me turn it off. Last time. And what happened to our music? Actually, we'll leave the music off for now. Okay, first initial one takes a really long time. Again, we were like looking at 5.11, 5.9. Now let's see what we're at. 5.8. 5.4. Okay, so I guess it's not making a difference right now. I lied. But I had a different scene, and I had a lot more stuff on it, and you know, matter, I'm just gonna turn it on because I think it feels faster, and if I think it feels faster, it's faster. But play with that experiment. It might work for you. It might work on a more denser scene. So what we're gonna do next is I'm gonna try to get some interesting lighting here on this here. Let me kind of jump into the camera view, and let's go ahead and pop over to the other render. And I don't like the materials that I have on the Octane logo, which is just this generic metallic material that I have on there, and then I have the blender in its blender color theme. Not sure if I'm going to go through, I don't think I have enough time on this stream here to go through me doing the, I'm probably going to make those textures look a little grungy and a little old, and I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to set that up. Wife and daughter went to the store. They'll be back shortly. So actually here, and I still think I have a little bit too much on the displacement on that. If this back wall is looking a little bit too noisy for me. So I'm actually going to come back in here and lower that down a little bit. Let's click on this, and then I'm seeing these lines here, so I'm thinking that we might be pushing it too much. And also to improve my viewport, I'm actually going to knock that down. I'm actually going to go ahead and put this back to 0.002. Okay, and then I'm actually going to, for right now, I'm going to knock this down to 1K because I don't need it to be that. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to mute the whole system right now while I'm working on it. I don't need it to be that thing. Okay, and one thing that's already bothering me was trying to get this thing, it's not completely flat because the wood, you can see, is tapering, it's leaning forward. So trying to fight to get this to try to match was like an issue. And that's where I think I'm going to try to grab one of those plugins, like drop it plugins, where you can just kind of like quickly add some rigid bodies on it and get things to fall in place. Because like I seriously, before I did the stream, I was spending like literally 5-10 minutes just trying to get this thing to put on the table, like where I wanted it. I'm gonna pull this one a little bit more forward. Again, trying to get things to look a little bit more natural. And they wouldn't be, I think that might be better. And let's kind of rotate this one a little bit. Yeah, that's way off now. Rotate on the X. Just get that to touch. So I'm thinking about investing in one of those little add-ons that really helps you, because I'm always doing that in projects, like spending this time right now trying to get this thing to lay flat on a piece of wood. Okay, Now let's go to lighting. What's my scenario? What's the story here? So we got this wall. Is this wall in a building? Is it outside? And looking at this, it looks like it could be in a building, in a room, right? And then I might add a couple of other little assets here to try to tell a story. For now, I just want to get my lighting kind of set up. And I'm thinking maybe let's kind of throw, if it's in a room, let's have like a light coming across, and then maybe like a gobo action happening here. So what I'm going to do is first I like to start off with no light. Let's go ahead and kill my HDRI. And then in my setup file here, I have these already built in, like a gobo setup light already made for me, so I don't have to keep making it. This is going to be, I'm going to be sharing this soon, my new setup file 2, V2, version 2, which I have, like I just said, this light setup in here, so we don't have to keep building certain things over and over and over. And make sure the light tab is checked. And that is checked. That is checked. And where is it? I don't see it. Oh, because this is still closed. Okay, there it is. All right, there it is. So there is my light. And let's kind of just come jump over here. Bring the light over. I want to have something coming from this side, like there's going to be a window splashing light onto there. GZ this down a little bit. And I just gotta rotate this, aim something like that. Out of there. And let's see what we're looking like. Gotta get my music going here. Okay, boom. That's already fallen into, like, I already have this gobo, and it's basically like a palm tree setup, but that's already doing something for me. That's already making something interesting, right? I'm kind of liking that. I think I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it out, and I'm probably gonna go silent for a little bit mode here and just kind of just work. And if anybody jumps in, holler at me with a question or something here to get my music and get my artistic mojo going on here. So off the mic. Okay, so I think I just made a major mistake. So when I built these, I added them to a collection and made the collection an asset, which is convenient because it gives me this nice little node here, this null, and I can control everything. But I don't have access to the materials. Now that I'm looking, like, it doesn't give me access to the materials. So I have to go back and import those in, and that's totally sucks. So nah, I just realized that. So if you don't know, you might want to save these assets as, you know, click on the actual asset it is itself. So hang on, I'm gonna have to go and change that out. That's gonna totally suck because we were at 39 minutes and I wanted to finish this whole thumbnail in 1 hour, and I don't think that's going to happen now. So for example, Blender logo, and of course it crashes. So it looks like we're gonna have a mission fail. I really wanted to finish this thing, render it out, get the thumbnail done in 1 hour. So that's not happening. Let me quickly go back over to come on, man, where's this? Now I gotta find out where the heck I put it, the file. Too many vendor files, too many Blender files. Maybe in my 3D stuff, which I don't even see. Ah, oh, jeez Louise, dude, where the heck? There it is, my 3D stuff. How come I'm not seeing that when I do? Okay, here we go. See, I made the whole collection, so I should make these guys here their own also assets, so it's accessible. But that's good to know, like if you don't want, like if you have something that's a bunch of pieces and you don't want it to be all separate pieces, you can just go ahead and set your materials, get everything set up, and then just make the collection a whole asset. So then I think I'm gonna clear this as an asset, then clear asset. Okay, and then save that. And now that should allow us to